Hi, I'm Sudeep Gupta. I'm currently working as Director International for OYO Hotels. I'm taking care of new geographies, launching new countries for them. I did launch Europe, now we are launching Canada. So that's my professional career so far. Have reached here. I would like to take my journey back in the days when I was probably those people who are watching the video. I was a student like you who was doing a graduate program and was thinking to do my master's or probably my graduation. So I started my journey by researching on the universities across different countries. You see a lot of things in Europe which opens your mind. Maybe in France and different countries you want to come back to India and implement that, because India is a developing economy. And I think the best part, again, which goes without saying, is you learn a lot of things when you go to the West, or you go to countries which are already developed, and you come back and want to do something of your own, which you see a vacuum. So I think that kind of exposure you will not get while you do your masters from a university in India, because the exposure which is required from a global perspective needs to be there. So many students think life in France is as romantic as it is in movies. Yes, definitely, why not? I've been going to France for long before I even did my masters, and it's one of my favorite cities. So since I did my masters, I have been into my businesses or into job which helps me to go to Paris once a year. However, life in France is pretty amazing. So I mean, the reason why I want to say that is people are very cooperative, very polite, very humble. The kind of food that you get, if you're a vegetarian, you have a lot of options in vegetarian. If you want to explore different cuisines from different part of the world, that is the place to be. Then I would like to say that France offers a lot of touristic spots as well. So we when we were doing our masters, we didn't had a lot of budgets to spend. What we used to do is we took a Euro pass and we were traveling all across Europe in very small budget. So we used to book our travel maybe a month in advance, and with the airlines you book your flight as well for 10 euros if you book well in advance. So it's not expensive at all. If you can pick up a part-time job as well, you can pay off your travel as well. So I think in that scenario, France give you opportunities to travel, to work, to visit beautiful places, and the architecture. If somebody wants to do their masters in architecture or anything like that, this is one of the best countries to explore. These are the things which I felt are pretty good in France. Also, I would like to share a couple of examples from my days of masters. When I went there, we were about 38 different nationalities, and we were going on the celebrating Indian festivals like Holi and Diwali, wherein we invited all the students from our campus to one Indian restaurant where we celebrated Holi with them. So I felt that the kind of appreciation with these different people from different part of the world, they value your festivals and they want to be a part of it. So I think these were the good examples which made me felt at home while I was not in India, and that's it. One of the very important questions that a lot of students ask, that how important is the language to be in the country. So I feel it's a good advantage to have French as a language. I also studied in my school, and then I did certification course from Alliance Française, which is one of the best French education system, where you get the education from the French faculty or the Indian faculty, which are at par at any of the campuses in France. So when you go to France, the best thing which you can do to learn French quickly is to be surrounded with the local people, and speak as much as you can, because they know that you're trying to learn and they appreciate it. The best part about French is, even you speak a little wrong, but French people are so generous, they will appreciate it and take it and support you in speaking French. So I think that is a very good gesture from the French people at a scale all across cities in France. And I think it's not a tough language. I learned German as well, but I found it pretty tough. So I think French is something which you can learn very easily, and it's a romantic language, to be honest. One important thing which I would like to mention here is, unlike other countries, maybe in France and other countries, they give a lot of practical exposure. So we don't have to always be very theoretical about our education system. So our grading was done in such a manner that we were evaluated 50% on the practical exposures that we get. We were doing case studies, we were going to client side, doing actual case studies, and obviously exams were also a part of it. So I think that becomes very important for any B school. When you come out of the B school, you are hands-on to get a job, and you know how practical you need to put up things in the company. Otherwise, you see a lot of students when they come and as a management trainee, they come from 100% theoretical to 100% practical problem, which becomes a lot of gap. So, education system in France would bridge the gap between the theoretical and practical, and you will be feeling comfortable in the first year of your job itself. I think that way it helped me a lot. The kind of mix, cultural mix, we are going to be admitted with about 30 different nationalities, which was not a case for any other universities in UK, because if you go to a university in UK, you might end up having a lot of Indian people, a lot of Chinese people, and maybe a couple of more nationalities. But when you come to Europe, to ESCP, you find at least 15 nationalities from Europe itself, but then you have people from Japan, you have people from US, you have people from Canada, you have people from China, you have people from Malaysia, and all of the South Asian countries. So you have a mix of cultural experience which you gain, which definitely will help you, like it is helping me currently in my current organization OYO, where I've launched countries like Spain, Italy, Germany. I know how people work, how people behave in terms of business and ethics. And now I'm launching Canada, which is in Canada I'm launching Montreal, Ottawa, which is a French-speaking city. So I think I've been selected because I speak French, and I know how the country works and how people behave, because I have certain experience. So I think these are the things which will help you, not immediately, because you would start your graph of your career from maybe a management graduate or a management trainee program, but then after maybe 5 years to 6 years, you will realize you will end up getting into a role which is more international, So that's a kind of value which we get after studying from a university like ESCP or any French university. One of the biggest advantage of doing your masters in France, and after doing your masters, many students think, what will happen if they don't get the internship immediately, maybe after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months or 6 months. The best thing about France is you have a work visa for 2 years, So now you can be relaxed. You can, after doing your masters, you can relax like any other European, take a holiday for 2 months, and then apply internships and get the best internships that goes with your goal. I did that. I did same when I was in France, and I finally got a couple of them. Second advantage of studying in France is that you get a 5-year visa. So now 5-year visa is a visa which you can come back, work in India for 5 years, and then also apply for it, because this visa is not for you. It's not only for you, it's for you, for your family, for your kids, for 5 years, and it is renewed. So I have my visa for myself, my family. Even if I go to any of the Schengen states, this visa is valid. So this becomes a part where you can travel all across Europe when you have family and kids and want to go back. So I think you don't have to waste money on the visas again and again. So these are the important things with regards to visa, which gives a lot of advantage why to do your masters or your bachelors from France versus any other countries in the world.